This is Geek Gab with your hosts, John, Brian, and me, Daddy Warpig. We are back. That's right, Geek Gab for Saturday, September 17th, 2016. I wonder if that was enough sibilance for you in the audience. Always warned about those S's when I was in earning my communications degree. This is sad, folks. I actually have a degree in this crap. Can you believe it? I have a degree in radio and print journalism, and this is what I'm doing with it. Welcome back. This is episode 69, unless I've lost track along the way somewhere, which I would not put that past myself. I just noticed that I am absolutely out of water at my desk, so what I'm going to do is ask a seemingly innocuous question of my good friend and co-host, John, and while he gives you guys a hopefully interesting answer, I'm going to walk across the room and grab some more water and not at all listen to what he has to say. I won't even hear a little bit of it until I go to listen to the show to upload it later. So, John, how was your week?
Well, it's been a good week. A little bit slow, a little bit of sick towards the end, but you know what? We always geek every day. Big news is I'm getting more and more good feedback on my weekly D&D game. For our guests and new people listening, I'm actually a really new dungeon master. I think we're up to 7 or 8 months now. So every week I hear something good out of my players. You know, that's like a plus for me. That's pretty good.
There you go.
That's about as geeky as it gets, I think. We've mentioned a couple times at this show, we hit peak geek regularly.
Oh, come on, man. That can't be as geeky as it gets. I mean, you actually, you watch tournament stuff on Twitch?
Yeah, I mean, I watch people play video games on Twitch in a supposedly competitive setting and Dungeons and Dragons. The only thing I don't do is listen to video game music remixes and cosplay.
You're such a poser. Oh my god.
I actually do listen to video game remixes. I bought a whole album of instrumental performances of video game themes, and I am proud of that shit. It's a good album, actually. I like fully 2 or 3 of the songs are in my regular playlist rotation. So there, take that. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. Brian, how was your week? Busy. You're about to say busy.
My week was busy, but that's excellent because I'm rapidly chipping away at the block of stone that has my third novel hidden somewhere inside it, and the image is beginning to emerge. I'm about 65% done with the first draft. Hoping to get it out by Christmas. So, yeah, I'm pleased with my progress.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
By the way, folks, that strange voice you hear is today's special guest. We have another author special guest.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the 3rd week in the row. Author Sky Hernstrom. By the way, hopefully next week, Brian, who do we have lined up for next week?
Next week, if my memory serves, we have author Declan Finn.
And then the week after that is Jeff Dunteman? Or is that not quite lined up yet?
Well, we can definitely ask him whenever he wants, basically. But yeah, we're on a roll.
Oh, did I jump the gun on that? I know you sent me an email, and I thought I sent a reply that said something like, okay, that sounds good to me. Was I wrong? Did I not send that reply? Did I imagine that? Was I hallucinating that reply?
Well, now the best part is that there's no way Mr. Dunteman's going to be able to say no.
Yeah, he just confirmed in the chat, so yeah, we're good to go. We're all lined up.
Okay, so
Thank you, Jeff.
We have Declan Finn next week, Mr. Dunteman the week after that. We're just lining up the superstars. And the good thing for all the people involved, is apparently this show is the high road to getting a dragon. Fully 4 Dragon Award winners have been on this podcast. So if you want a dragon, come on the podcast and roll the dice with us. So
we're the kingmakers. We're the kingmakers here for the dragons. Hey, welcome, Sky. What are you up to, and when are you going to get a dragon?
I don't know. Probably. Oh man, that's something. Uh, Something to think about, man. That award is pretty awesome. I mean, it actually looks magical. You know what I
All I
mean?
do is sing to it and rub it with a diaper. True story.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's going to hatch eventually. I hope you have the facilities.
I need 2 more.
Oh, there you go.
let me ask you a question. Ooh, that was a George R. Martin reference.
Oh, I got it.
Did you see the title for today's show, Sky?
No, I did not actually.
Okay, the title for today's show is this: Mad Wizards, Doomed Knights, and Ancient Wrecks of Forgotten Starships.
Oh, that's my power alley right there, man. That's where it's at.
I want you to explain why I chose that as the description for the show for you to come on. Because I purposely chose that in an attempt to try and encapsulate. See, I was today's chosen reader. I was the person who was chosen to read this stuff so that at least one of the 3 of us would know what.
Hello.
You were the chosen one.
You're chosen to have your audio cut out.
What? Did it cut out?
Just
You
for a
did,
second.
It cut out at the best parts too.
Oh, man.
It's
So
all right.
why don't you go ahead and explain why I might have chosen those phrases to describe your work?
Well, because the palette I'm working in is the hardcore tropes, the stuff we love. You know, I love mad wizards. I love heroic warriors. I love beautiful women. You know, I want to get down and I want to really get into the core, the absolute core of, you know, the atavistic sort of elements of fantasy. You know, the sorcerers are evil. You know, your knight is good, and you have bad knight, whatever. You know, princesses, wizards, the whole thing. You know, I want fairy tales, and when we're talking about spaceships, I want spectacle. I want, you know, I want to get my mind blown. I want to have a good time. You know, and for me, that's all about getting right into, you know, the core. You know, the you know, say it again, the tropes that we all love. So, you know, I've got in that book that you took a peek at, that Thune's Vision, you know, we've got a sorcerer trying to cheat death. We've got a black knight versus a white knight. You know, I play around a little bit with some sort of anthropological science fiction. That was fun. That was a departure. And then we go into a saga, you know, a proper saga taken right from Germanic myth about a man who's given Odin's spear. You know, and for me, like, you know, everyone's constantly talking about how to move the genre forward, how to make it relevant or make it vital or make it somehow important in the context of this minute. And I want to take the genre and I want to make the context important. I want to make it important in the context of 1,000 years ago and 1,000 years from now. And it's going to be the same types of stories. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, you know, I almost feel oddly hermetically sealed away. You know what I mean? It's just, it's been a strange, you know, I just started this a couple years ago, and it's just been weird, man. You know, it's been weird. It's been great. It's been great. I'm not complaining, but, you know, I started to look at, you know, okay, you know, I'm 43, you know, I'm not running around like I used to. This is a great time to sit down and try to start writing, try to get these things out. I look around and I'm like, wow, you know, I'm not grokking anything what's going on. I don't, you know what I mean? Don't feel a part of it. So, but, you know, I got to stay in my lane here, stay with what I'm doing. And that's what comes out, you know. And, you know, there's a lot of different people doing a lot of different stuff, and that's all great. And like, you know, Brian's doing that wonderful sort of, that science fiction that, how do I?
It's hard to describe.
Yeah, but so it's new, it's original, it's great. But, you know, but you're telling a story, and, you know, it's fundamentally a story. You know, you're not trying to, you're exploring things, and you're having fun, and you're mixing things up a little bit, but not with the purpose of destroying the genre. You know what I mean? You're just doing your thing. You know what I mean?
Amen, brother. You do your thing, I do my thing. It's all good. And weird and good,
Yeah.
like you were
Yeah,
getting at, are
that-
definitely not mutually exclusive.
No, not at all. Yeah. Like I just want spectacle. I want to see things and feel things, and you put it into prose and you do your best to try to ensure that the reader is getting what you're getting out of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you're sort of trying to rediscover what it is about the ancient stories, the ancient tropes and tales that appeal across time. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, definitely. I would, with the caveat, is I'm certainly not trying to do it in any sort of scholarly fashion. You know what I mean? Just trying to root in there and have a good time. Like the first story in there, the Challenger's Garland. So I've got the champion of the King of Death. That's just sounds cool right there. You know what I mean? And he has a dream, and it's pointing him down a certain path. Other people, the King of Death and his trickster brother, they sort of know where this is going, but he doesn't know where it's going because he's so in the zone, so into who he is. And then he meets the White Knight, and he has to fight the White Knight. And then I'm not going to spoil it, for the throngs of people who are going to run out and grab and buy this and read it. But I'm not going to spoil it. But I'm just so attracted to these core elements. You know what I mean? It's a Black Knight, Black Knight fighting a White Knight. You know what I mean? I mean, you could.
Break it real quick.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
For those of you who want to, I have included a link to Sky Hernstrom's Amazon page in the description below the video, and that'll also come up in iTunes and all the other places you can download this later. Just do a get info in the description, and you'll be able to find a link to his Amazon page. So you'll find Thune's Vision there. You'll find the issues of Kursova magazine that he'll be in there, and Kursova just hit its funding stretch goal for issue number 3. There's going to be a bonus story by Sky Hernstrom in issue number 3 now, which should be going out in the next week or week and a half. So be sure to check that out. That is in the description. If you want to buy Thune's Vision, which I recommend, I'm about 54%. I'm right in the middle of the tale of the guy who got the spear from Odin. So it's a great story. It's a very enjoyable book. So by all means, check out Kursova issue number 2. He's got a great story in there, and also Thune's Vision, link in the description. Go. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. It's fantastic. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel, without setting out to do this, or without wanting to be in any sort of opposition or anything, but I definitely don't feel plugged into science fiction and fantasy, literature the way a lot of the ways and a lot of the directions it's being taken in now. And not that I want people to stop. You write whatever you want to write. You know what I mean? You have a good time. You find readers. It's all good. But I just feel like definitely kind of out of step. You know what I mean?
Well, see, and here's the thing. People like us who are really enjoying this sort of pulp renaissance that's been kicked off the last 2 or 3 years, we don't want to take stuff away. If people want to go out there and write all the social justice fantasy they want, that's their choice. All we want to do is write some good, fun, exciting, old-fashioned fantasy and science fiction and enjoy it. We don't care about shutting in on other people's stuff. We just want to write and read stuff that we love and that is great.
Yeah, and it's absolutely, just like in the case of Brian's work. I mean, in the case of Brian's work, it's highly original to boot. You know what I mean? So, you're having your cake and eating it too.
Yeah, we kind of come at this from different perspectives. We take different approaches to try to salvage sci-fi. I was just interviewed by the Puppy of the Month Book Club, and they asked about this, and I totally appreciate what the Pulp Revival is doing, because I'm totally with you. I feel alienated by the contemporary sci-fi scene, because I think it's a branch that branched off of the main tree of the pulps, and it's a dead end. It's dead. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you
go
know,
ahead. Go ahead and spring
yeah,
that.
it's just so much of it like, yeah, I never think to come up to somebody and say, hey, you're doing this wrong. You know what I mean? Like, but that's kind of the tone
Right.
out there. And it just really rubs me the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's just so weird. And,
I'm
there could be nothing easier than avoiding my work. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, who cares? You know what I mean? So it's just a real strange, it's an extremely good time to be a writer right now with all the avenues and venues and things that are opening up. And on the other side, it's a really weird time to be a writer, really weird time, I mean, you're creating a product for people's enjoyment, you find readers or you don't, that's it. But then it gets really weird and complicated,
Yeah. Yeah, and whereas the Pulp Revival is like that old, I think it's a Lewis quote, that when you're about to head off the cliff, the first person to turn back is the first one to start making progress. And you're going back to the source, and
yeah,
then
definitely.
striking out again on a new branch. I'm kind of coming at it sideways because less than the old pulps, my main exposure to the pulps is mainly Lovecraft and then a couple of Robert E. Howard stories. And then other than that, my more Campbellian sci-fi,
Fantastic,
is pretty
yeah.
much Frank Herbert. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my main influences are like Japanese anime, gaming, video game JRPGs, D&D, like Warhammer 40K,
Right.
which took a lot of those same elements but then filtered it through a really weird to us in the West cultural set of archetypes. So like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Hideaki Anno was basically trying to do an animated version of Clark's childhood's end, but filtered through the Japanese perspective.
Right.
And he wasn't afraid to add like just overt Christian imagery, which would definitely get you pigeonholed into some niche markets over here.
Yeah.
But he came up with something that was greater than the sum of its parts, and that is more what influenced me.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's like a
That's all I got.
what's the word I'm looking for? Synthetic, synergistic, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something
And
like that. It's a synthesis, yeah.
yeah, and my primary influences, which are really obvious, obviously Jack Vance.
Yeah.
I guess I write two kind of stories. I write, an adventure story, a weird story, a fairy tale story, and then like the novella in issue 2, Images of the Goddess. That was just like a pure Vancian sort of romp. It's just let's just imagine it's 400,000 years in the future. We have this bizarre quest with a really goofy payoff at the end, and let's just walk through these environments. And as you're writing, it's like, okay, it's starting to drag. Boom, something's got to happen. Something happens. Building off everything you've done, and it just rolls along. And in the end, you got 20,000 words. And it's a blast. So coming from Vance Howard. Especially stories like Challenger's Garland or what's another good one? The Gift of the Oddmen, which was in Kursova issue 1. That's kind of like my Lord Dunsany side.
Yeah, I love
which
that
brings
story.
Up a funny. Yeah, I love it. That was just really fun, and that was, it started out like okay, I want to do a barbarian, and then at the end it spins off into this bizarre cyclical Oswald Spengler thing, and just go where it takes you, and it was just immensely satisfying.
And what was that in?
Oh, that was in the Kursova 1.
Okay.
This guy gets I won't say it, but he gets runs into these mushroom men, and they want to do him in, and they make a little deal, and it just goes off from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're crazy, like mad artists and
Oh yeah, that guy.
Wolves and golems, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, Meneon, the last. I don't know if you guys have read Oswald Spengler, but these ideas about how civilizations are cyclical. No matter what you do, you succeed, and then you enter a period of decline, and then it's over. Then your ruins, the people are digging up. So this whole Spengler vibe running through where And you know, the gift he gets enables him to sort of have visions and play with time. So that really throws that whole cyclical aspect into it. Ends up just a tiny bit of Twilight Zone at the end, but you know,
Yeah,
it all.
I love the twist.
Yeah, it was such a good time. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. I mean, like you kind of nosing around and you're talking to other writers, listening to other writers. Like, obviously it's work, it's hard work, but it's just so fun, man. It's so fun. You know, I just like it comes out of nowhere. Like, it's such a satisfying process. Like in you read Othan and the Priestess, Mr. Warpig. So that story, this guy has to go on a quest and he has to cross a barrier that's hanging above a river. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
So the how you get under the river is, you know, you need to breathe underwater. So how do you breathe underwater? It is a gift that's bestowed upon you for kissing the sea witch. So Othan goes to see the sea witch, and of course she wants something in return, you know, whole big thing. So he goes under the barrier, and now I'm spoiling everything. Don't even buy it. Who cares? I'm spoiling it. So he goes under the barrier, and then he meets sort of that whole story is about a civilization that's split in half. And one side is really aggro, and the other side is too not aggro, you know. So when he gets over to the other side, the nice place, which is starting to run down too, because there's no real spark there, he fights their champion and overcomes them, but he gets they kind of double cross him. And what are they going to do with him? They're not necessarily violent, so they say drown him. So they go and they hold his head underwater in this lily pond. And of course he can breathe underwater. They don't know that, you know. So, you know, I'm not going to sit there with a notebook and try to figure this out. You know what I mean? So I'm writing it and it just happens. You know what I mean? It's just so, you know, I can't talk enough about how wonderful this process is. You know what I mean? And it all just comes from just letting go, just letting it happen.
I love hearing that. It's like, it sounds like when authors say, you know, the characters just write themselves. I love hearing that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not Agatha Christie. I'm not going to sit there and think about the fingerprints on the hammer and have it all charted out. That's just not me. That's wonderful. If that's, you know, a lot of people work like that. It's fantastic, you know. But I just let it happen, man, you know. Just let it happen. I got to get into this sort of state of mind. I don't know about how you work, but I use music a lot. And I try to read a lot of nonfiction, actually. You know, like I just finished this massive, like 800, 600 something page book on Stalin. So the next story I write, you know, the next time I need a tyrant, you know, I got a tyrant in the bank right now. You know what I mean? You know, stuff like that. You know, so such a good time. Well, we should definitely talk more about Kurosawa, though. You know, I'm over here talking about hanging out and having a good time and listening to music, but you know, guys like Alex, you know what I mean? I mean, he just wakes up one day and he says, I'm going to make a magazine, and bang, he's got a magazine, 3 issues out, 4th one in the can. I mean, come on, man. I mean, that's the guy that's, and there's others out there too. You know, these are the guys, these are the Che Guevaras of the Pulp Revolution. You know what I mean? It's just fantastic.
It is. And like Nick Cole was pointing out on the Superversive SFI stream we did before this, he and I are two of the first people to ever win a Dragon Award.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
Thanks. And
That's
we
really
indie
cool.
published the books that won originally.
Yeah. It's now's the time, man. You know what I mean? You know, we don't have to scratch at the gate and beg for scraps, man. You know what I mean? You just do it.
You don't wait to be chosen. Don't ask for permission. Just do it. Just right.
Yeah. You know, if you stink, no one cares. It's fine. You know what I mean? You know, big deal. And but it's opening up. It's really awesome. I mean, some of the all the stuff in Kurosawa has been awesome. You know, I don't think I have the time to go through everything. But if you're in Kurosawa, you're awesome. You're a friend of mine. But some of these guys, like I didn't like Misha Burnett. I never heard of that guy. You know what I mean? And he's in there. He's got a couple novels out. He's doing his thing. It's awesome. You know, we're talking about the human condition. You know, I'm watching basic cable, and he's got like the platinum package with all the pay channels. You know what I mean? These guys are just. You know, I was reading the second issue. Is it second? Yeah, it was the second issue. I'm reading it, and there's a guy fighting a shark. You know what I mean? I mean, like I'm on the bus. I want to say, hey, man, hey, this guy's fighting a shark. You know what I mean? People are going to think I'm nuts. I mean, come on, man. That's what it's about. That's what, you know, these are we're getting back to the joy that I had as a kid, 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever. The joy that I had just going through paperbacks, finding stuff, finding these nuggets, and just throwing yourself into it and just having such a good time. You know what I mean? And that's all coming back. You know, thank God.
Amen. And everything you said makes total sense. Even there's a guy fighting a shark. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
if I was on a bus and someone said that, I'd be like, right on.
Yeah, like, give me some of that, man. Yeah.
That's the sensitive part.
The guy shot a shark. Stop the bus. You know, come on, man. I don't know. It's just so funny how you start this process, and I look around. I'm like, oh man. You know, you look around at the establishment publications and stuff, and you got a lot of talented people doing a lot of stuff. You know, I'm not trying to. You know, I don't ever publicly insult anyone's work. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm looking around. I'm like, you know, I'm wearing bell bottoms, and everyone else has got skinny jeans and skinny ties and stuff. You know, but it don't matter no more. You know what I mean? It's awesome. You know, just you know, go ahead, take the risk, put it out there, put it on the line. You know, people emailing me, hey, this is great. I read this is great. You're going to do more with these characters. Well, I didn't think I would but you emailed, so yes, I am. You know what I mean? It's been really wonderful.
It's energizing to hear how jazzed you are about this, because that excitement that carries over to the readers.
Yeah,
well, I mean, a lot of readers are excited about what's going on.
It's difficult because I don't want to. It's like I'm not like over enamored with my own work. I'm not sitting around like thinking, "Oh man, I'm the greatest." You know what I mean? But you know, my work, you know, it's deeply personal. It's coming. You know, I'm putting it out there, and I'm reading it, and like some scenes and some things that happen, like you know, I'll kind of tear up. You know what I mean? Because I'm really getting into it. You know what I mean? And like that's, you know, why even bother doing anything if you're not going to be passionate about it? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's interesting to hear about.
I'm on full ramble mode now.
No,
I'm rambling.
Well, it's going to get worse because I've got a question. So, am I correct in thinking that you're an organic writer or a gardener or a pantser instead of an outliner? Would that be right?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm a pantser, absolutely. I think that was that Larry. Great. All right, pants. Yeah. I don't write from an outline. I'll tell you what.
I thought you meant like writing without pants, because that's what I would do. I would do that.
Well, everyone does that.
I'm not wearing pants now. I don't know if that's germane to the discussion, but
leave your inhibitions behind.
Yes. So I started. This all started for me around way back in 2013. Okay, if you could cast your minds that far back. So a friend of mine's like, we're always talking about writing, always kicking around, always thinking about it. And this buddy of mine's like, hey, let's start writing short fiction. So, all right, the hell with it. I never really tried it. Start writing short fiction. This is extremely fun. So, I sell a piece, selling a piece, having fun, kind of working up my stock, which is all out there now. I just got a whole bunch of fragments I'm working on now. So, I'm okay. I want to be a big boy now. Let's try to write a novel. So I outlined this whole thing out. And I get about 30,000 words, and I was like, this is lifeless dreck. You know what I mean? Like, the idea is sound. The idea that I had, that the whole thing that's moving this end, thing, it's all good. But this is lifeless. So I shit canned it, and I'm gonna take that idea and start over. But yeah, I just gotta do it. I wish I was an outliner, because I think probably in the long run you'll be more productive that way. You know what I mean? And it's not like I wait around for the muse to hit me. I can sit down and force myself to write. But having said that, it's just not had good luck with the outlines or anything like that. But Brian probably has to work from an outline because those are. No, I mean it's like it's a very involved and a very intelligent sort of work. You know what I mean? It's hard to imagine that that's just.
Well, I thought an ethereal was so complex. I'm pretty sure he works from multiple spreadsheets.
Yeah. Whoa, spreadsheets. Whoa.
No,
Man, that's serious.
Yeah, that's way too tech savvy for me now. Several notebooks, several spiral-bound college ruled notebooks.
We are running out of time. So
Oh no.
last thoughts all the way around. Any last words from Sky?
Hey, no, just say thanks for having me. People checking stuff out, people checking out everybody's work. Much love for all that. Thanks to Alex. Thanks to all the people I'm talking to on all this Google Plus that I don't even know what I'm doing. Thanks for having me. Thanks for buying. Congratulations on the Dragon. Just get out there and find what you like and love it and have a good time, man.
Any last words, Brian?
Yeah, definitely go check out Sky's work. Check out Kursova. Check out my work, Ethereal, and its Dragon Award-winning sequel, Soul Dancer, available now. And if you've already read them, go ahead and shut up an SJW critic by leaving a review.
Hey, chop on number 3 there.
Oh yeah, I'll get right back to that.
Yeah, all the press and all the conventions and everything. I forget what it's all about. It's about number 3.
Any last thoughts, John?
Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on, Sky. It was really great hearing from you. And I'll be sure to check out your work now.
All right. Hey, appreciate it very much, guys.
All right, folks. Once again, Sky has a story in issue number 1 of Kursova, issue number 2 of Kursova, and issue number 3 of Kursova. He also has a book out, Thune's Vision, and you can check all those out. They're linked to from his Amazon page, which is in the description. Our homepage you can get on the web on is.gd/geekgab. That is is.good/geekgab. Or you can get right on iTunes, do a search for Geekgab and subscribe to the podcast there. Or you can go to soundcloud.com, do a search for, oddly enough, and I know this is going to surprise you, so hold on to your chairs. Geekgab, you can find us right on SoundCloud or on Google Play. We do the show about once a week. Or so, give or take some outages for various things. This is episode 69 for Saturday, September 17th. And once again, the title, because I love the title, because Sky Hernstrom's work is awesome. The title for this show has been Mad Wizards, Doomed Knights, and Ancient Wrecks of Forgotten Starships. We have to sign off for today, folks, but don't worry, we will be back.